Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium healer, numerologist, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there's always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. I hope you're doing well today. And we are doing a reading show. So please, if you would like to be read, pop in your birth date. I'm going to pull some numerology, let you know what I'm getting, and also pull a card for you. So we're going to be doing a double modality show. So everyone who gets the reading gets a little bit of numerology and gets a little bit of a card. Okay. And whether it's, I'm going to say one thing on your chart and pull a couple cards for you, or say a lot on your chart and I pull one card for you. It's going to be just really off the cuff. So I invite you to come on in, and if you want, you can put down some of your questions. I'm going to be shooting for more general readings. So that's what we will be doing when we have some people coming in. So everybody just pop down your birth dates. One thing I always suggest is with this, write down your month, because in America, we actually have our month and then our day and then our year. In the UK, they have their day first, then their month. So always helpful to write out the full month, if that makes sense. Instead of, April being a 4, spell out April. Same with any other month. So yes, that makes it easier for me to dive in and decipher. And I really just want to start with the topic of the day too. The topic of the day will be balance. Balance is such a funny concept, isn't it? We are always, hi Sharon, hello everyone. I'll be getting to everyone's readings in just a moment, so thank you for coming in. Balance is such an interesting topic because everyone has a different equilibrium. Everyone has a different balance. Your equilibrium could be different than it was a year ago. And if you went through something life-changing or, transformative, it's going to be totally different than it was. So think about kind of the last time you had major growth in your life, or something like really offset, whether, initially good or bad, but you've come on the other side of it. Either who you were as a person or where your energy levels or personal equilibrium is, it's completely different. So please know that equilibrium is always changing. And even for people who, let's say, are consistent and they don't have a lot of changes within their lives per se, because let's say they are so on top of their body's energy, they are so tuned into their health per se, so they can catch balls as they're coming. The body is still changing. The body still goes through cycles. Just like, in numerology, we inevitably go through cycles. The world goes through cycles. Earth has a cycle every 365 days. It's, end of cycle. The sun has an 11-year cycle. We're biological beings. We have cycles too. We're spiritual beings. We have cycles as well. So thus ushers in a new form of balance. So like I was saying, even if your equilibrium is quite consistent per se, and you take really good care of your health, like let's say you eat healthy, organics, you take natural supplements, you know what your body needs, you exercise, you sleep well, you meditate. I'm thinking about all kind of the most helpful just foundations, right? They're just supplemental foundations that makes life easier. You will find still your body ushers into a new equilibrium. And so I know actually quite a bit of people who are on top of their health, and they're like, why isn't what I did, working before? Everything I do, it's an uphill battle, right? And it's just like, that's the sign. If you ever feel like you're going uphill, or if you ever feel like you're being weighted down, your scales, it needs something different. It needs something else. And, we are in a state of change always, and just to honor and accept that. Thank you, Derek and Jackie, for coming in. Thank you. And just to, be patient and be peaceful with knowing that it's just a matter of observing and knowing yourself better, and asking for help to get more questions about your equilibrium. The last thing I want to say on it is, a lot of times when people are unbalanced, they will, of course, seek balance. And it's either going to be through grounding or in a way where they can let go. Okay. So when we ground, we hunker down, like closer to the earth or more in our physical body. Some people exercise, some people even eat red meat, because red meat is very grounding, right? Or they'll do things where they just feel like, I'm anchored in, right? Taking care of their physical body, tending to things on their body, taking assessment of their body, because we're just go, 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 do, do, do. And we are looking at everything around us and we forget our body. Even like cleaning the house, being aware of our environment, very grounding. On the flip side, sometimes people need to let go, and instead of grounding, you kind of get more expansive, or you can get higher, right? And so what people do to kind of get into this is sometimes they go vegan or they go vegetarian, and it cleans their system, and they do feel sometimes more spacey, or they just feel clearer or lighter, right? Not that you have to have that, lifestyle. It's just sometimes they do it to clean their system, right? So their equilibrium actually does feel different because of that, even if it's for a day or a week. Another thing is, having energetic healing, whether it's Reiki, meditation. Meditation can ground you. It also can expand your energy as well. So we can go into a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, sometimes, you need gentle equilibrium rather than radical equilibrium. So, for instance, I know some people, and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to ground, like, get me a burger now. And what happens is, like, their system kind of crashes, because it's like, it's like this heaviness that just enters the body, like, whoosh, right? Or sometimes, in order for people to let go, they have a drink. And let's say they haven't had a drink in a long time. That actually expands the body, because you leave your body. Okay. The reason it's called spirits for a reason, hard alcohol, drinking a spirit. So you're like, gosh, I feel so stressed out, I just need to let go. And then you're like, "Wing," and you're all the way up there, and you're not really connected to your body. So that's my encouragement, is just find your equilibrium and know when you need one thing or another to gently get yourself there, rather than shocking your system because you feel not like yourself. And so, of course, like, a spirit or red meat is going to not offset someone at all. And then for another person, it would actually quite severely offset a person. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different sensitivities. Everyone has a different makeup. And so that's balance for you. One size does not fit all. All right, everyone, let's go into readings. Hopefully you can think on those things. The reason I talked about balance was for a reason. We are all together, and thus comes us inspiration when we are all together. All right, away we go in a second. Always get that water. Water helps. Speaking of equilibrium, right? Okay, so Sharon, I want to pull your numbers. And so everyone, as you come in, just place down your numbers. I'm going to, go back. I'll scroll up and I will get your numbers. If you have, again, a question, just drop it down with your birth date and we will go into it. So Sharon, got you down as June 18th, 1948. Right? And so we always do a little math with the numerology. So hang with us. Then we get right into the goodies. Okay. So Sharon, it lets me know that you are in a cycle of 3 right now. And so that's actually very good for you. A cycle of 3 is excellent for you. A cycle of 3 always gives an individual opportunity. Opportunity. If ever you want to be more social, if ever you want to increase your reach in business, if ever you want to try something new and you're like, I don't know, all those things are greeted more easier with the energy that your cycle has. For instance, 3 is a very social year. So if you're looking for new friends and activities, expect it to be met with fun, ease, and surprise. 3 is the number of comedy, and 3 is the number of artistry with your voice. So communication is easy. You're heard more easy, you're seen more easy, you're understood more easy. What does that mean? That means making friends more easy. That means, you're going to be out and about and things are just going to work out for you. You'll run into the right type of people. And that could work out, like, again, in friendship ways or in business opportunities. So with the rest of your chart too, 3 is very harmonious. So this is a good year for you, a really good year for you. You are, you're a life path 1. And so life path 1 is all about going your own way, doing your own things, being personally inspired, and bringing your ideas into the world. You don't have to be responsible for ushering, that's the word of the day, ushering in the completion of your idea always, but you have to actually use your mind to inspire others, whether handing off ideas or going, I was thinking this, and a person goes, wow, that's quite fantastic. Okay, like, you just kind of made me think of how I can do this better, or I have the resources to do that. Do you want to be in partnership? So 1 is all about having great ideas, unique ideas, and sticking to your guns, because you have a very fast and agile mind, and you have to put that to good use. 1 is also about not listening to other opinions. If you know in your heart and you feel in your bones that you have a wonderful idea and it's the right thing to do. So 1's job throughout their life is to stick up for what you believe in, help others do the same, and speak your truth really and stand strong when other people don't necessarily understand you. Okay? And that could be in relationships too as well, not always in a business sense. Your personal day is a 9, and this is actually really helpful too, because personal days are how other people see us at our outer core. Okay? They don't necessarily know us, right? Even if they spend time with us, let's say at work, and they don't really know who we are on the inside, the personal day does influence that, but it ultimately influences kind of that first moment when we meet somebody. And you have a great number for influencing people, for people wanting to invest in you, for people looking up to you. You have a 9. So 9 is the number of the old soul. So when someone sees you, they see an old soul, or they see a leader, they see someone who's capable. And 9 in this placement is super helpful, especially if you want to lead and get your ideas off the ground. People will just more easily listen to you. Okay, your attitude is a 6, so you love to take care of people. You love to look out for people. You love to like really take charge. Okay, so all these things, I'm letting you know you're great with people. You have unique ideas. You're meant to be a leader. You don't have to have the responsibility to get everything done. Delegate, delegate, delegate. Have other people help you. And with this attitude 6, you have, don't take all the responsibility. Like you're someone who, like, if someone's in trouble, like you'll rush, and it's almost like you have this instinct to save people at times. The people that you believe in, the people that you love. Okay? So you do have a good understanding of if a person is worth it to you. But you will really kind of drop everything and help people that you care about. And so just continue to delegate. And this year is a very harmonious year with the rest of your numbers. So let's pull a card for Sharon. Okay. So what I'm getting when I pulled the card is currently like you're in a decision and you're kind of like second guessing. Okay. It's like you're like, well, it would be nice, and yeah, that's what I want to do, but it's a little bit of a risk. It's a little bit of a gamble, right? I'm not sure about it, but the good thing involved here is that if you work and you invest and you put in the effort, actually it's going to be quite prosperous. Actually, it's going to be quite good for you. And not only are you going to feel better because that's actually exactly what you wanted to do, but things are going to take off and people are going to see you and things are going to blossom. Okay. So you're not in this alone. Initially, it might feel like you're in it alone with the decision and how you're going forward, because it is a little bit like risky per se, because you're like, should I not? And the good thing is it's actually really good. So I'm greenlighting it. It's going to take work. Just be patient. Just be patient and just be dedicated, and it will be very fruitful. Like some of these considerations of the past of should I not? It's connected to sense of self, or it's connected to females around you. So like other people's opinions and why it's complicating things. And so that's the number one thing. It's just right now it's kind of like this cool period. And when I say like cool period, that means like there's a lot of thought, there's a lot of like consideration behind it, but there isn't like the work piece. And going forward, to make it work, you need the work piece. And that's where like the energy gets loosey goosey and you have movement. And when you have movement behind a decision, you actually have the potential to make money. When energy is moving behind a decision, and you have the potential for people to come find you, because again, the energy is so much bigger than just you. It ripples, it shifts, it swirls. So the movement looks good behind what you're doing. You just have to follow through, okay, with this project, with this decision. So I hope that helps, Sharon. And yeah, feels good. Great year too. Like, final thing I'll say is you're a cycle 3, so it's a great year to actually do this. Like, it's one of the best years. Like, honestly, cycle 3 is the easiest year to get things done or to get things started so they'll blossom. Okay. Because, like I said in the beginning, 3 is easy, it's fun, opportunity. People come find you, you find people. All right. So, really take advantage of this year. And you're going into, so you're going into your birthday soon. And so when we hit our birthday, the energy really picks up for the year. So when you're around June, it's a great year to, it's a great month. When you're in June, it's a great month to really put the pedal to the metal. Okay. Great month for you. And you're going to start to, I think, take off with that in in July. Okay. So I'm just going to give you clarification for June. Great month for you. I think it's almost like it's kind of like like a lot of karma's involved with June. So it's like, the reason I say that is because it's going to be easy and good and flowing, and it's really good connected to your birthday month, but it's almost like it's like this flashback of why, it kind of didn't work before, but you get past that, right? And so things are just like, you dealt with what you need to, you dealt with your mindset, and it's like wide open, fresh start. Boom, we're ready to go for July. Okay. I'm studying mediumship. So July is, I think it's like you're grounded, you're ready to go for July, and it's letting go of the past. Honestly, it really is. And don't let what people tell you influence you, because mediumship is about soul development. It's about your spirit, and it's the most kind of intimate development you can do within a career, in a sense. And it's all about listening to yourself. It's all about learning about yourself. And it's all about listening to something beyond yourself too at the same time. So we become very humble, where we don't listen to the negativity of ourselves that are holding us back, and we learn about the positivity about ourselves that is pushing us and driving us forward. And then spirit gives us this neutral, beautiful observance and perspective of how to guide us. Okay. So really, really just continue to let go and trust yourself. And July, it's like whoosh, away we go. Okay. So I am going to go to Derek and Jackie. Okay. So April 3rd, 1991, 13th, excuse me, 1991. Personal day. So I don't know if this is for Derek or Jackie. So Derek or Jackie, if you're still here, let me know which reading this is for your birth date, because, this is Jackie, you just wrote down. Okay, so this is for Jackie. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So you have a personal day 4, you have an attitude 8, and you have a life path 6. Okay. And please, everyone too, if you have any questions that you want to pop down, please do that so as well. It could be questions about mediumship, of course. It could be questions about like life. If it is a life question and a personal question, please pop down your birth date so I can pull some cards and numbers on your question. Thank you. Okay. So with Jackie, you have a personal day 4, and you are an attitude 8, and you're in a cycle of 5. So when someone's in a cycle of 5, it's a busy number. 3 and 5s are probably the busiest numbers when it comes to cycles. You could argue maybe like a 9, you're gonna have a lot going on too. And maybe an 8 as well, right? Or 6. But 3 and 5 ensures that things are going fast, that things are like, whoa, okay, if I want, I can really keep things moving. So always use that to your advantage, okay? The 3s and 5s will guarantee that if you want to do something and get something done, it's in your advantage, where it will come way quicker than any other year, okay? So that is in your favor. Well, with a cycle 5, it is a number of freedom, movement. It's a number also of chaos. So just heads up, some people do well with chaos. Some people do well with juggling. Some of your numbers indicate that you would prefer not to juggle. Okay? Some of us don't always like to juggle. Some of us aren't always used to juggling per se. Okay? With a life past 6, like, you're conditioned to take on a lot. You're really up for the task if it's difficult. With your attitude 8, you prefer things to be a lot more orderly. You're like, it doesn't have to be this way. All right, let's get it together. It really doesn't have to be this way. I have a goal, I have an ideal, and we're going to shoot for that. Okay. Because there's a better way to do things. And that is true. So if you can really pinpoint and just ride the wave, again, this year will go the way that you intend. You just need patience behind it. You do have like a more serious demeanor. People can kind of feel off you at times. And you have this kind of love for learning and like love for just sizing up situations and going, okay, this is how we can make the most of it. And so your opinion is honestly really valued. And how can I put this? If you find that it's not, please put yourself in a different environment with a change in friends and even in a change in job, because you really have keen observational skills where you can, like, you should be in a role where you're doing something like management if you're not already doing it right now. um, because you really can get things done efficiently, and you have very good numbers for making sure that happens not just for yourself but for other people. So if people aren't valuing your opinion, get into a situation where that is the case more. We don't always have to be right, but you provide facts in instances where you're just like, yo, you got to take me a little bit more seriously. It's not just an opinion. I actually, all right, and overseen much more than my opinion. Okay, so this year, just kind of, you're gonna be taken on a ride. You're gonna be kind of juggling things. Things might not go as expected, but things will go fast. Heads up. Okay, and just breathe and be patient, because the cycle 5 isn't exactly harmonious with some of your numbers. Okay, I'm gonna pull some cards. Okay. So this makes sense with your attitude number. Right now, you're really looking to grow your wealth. You're really looking to grow opportunity with how you can like really expand in career and to have just like things easier. And that has been a focus. That has been something you have been locking in on. It's tied back to kind of like where you want to go. Okay. And don't lose sight of that. Sometimes we're like, I need a change. I need something different. This is not working for me. And then we go, but I got to consider the money. I got to consider the practicality. Hi, Joe. Pop down your numbers if you want a reading. And yes, money has to always be considered. Money is important, especially for your chart. Money is actually very important to your peace, to your focus, and to how you kind of take on the persona of yourself. Success is very important to bring harmony to your life. And yes, success is important to everybody, but you have an attitude 8, so that is always going to be, how can I progress? How can I excel? How can I strategize? How can I be in a place where I'm financially more secure? That is something that is on the forefront, and it's going to be in the back of your mind. And sometimes it can be a little stressful, right? And sometimes it can be exciting because you are kind of always looking for those opportunities. So, my advice just looking at these cards is, because you have the journey card and the wealth card, is don't forget about the journey that you want to take, because if you keep looking for things that is harmonious with what you need, not just in the wealth department, you're going to have extra energy, extra excitement, extra enthusiasm, thus working a lot better and more efficient. And it's just going to propel you into the position of making more money. So don't just take things for the sake of money. Make sure that you're having, in this case, both. You have to like what you're doing, and you have to be making the money, and you have to consider both. And if you're offered a good opportunity for just money, and it's not fulfilling some of the other things, honestly, I would say keep looking. Keep looking. And, or if you want, take it, but then keep looking. Okay. I just need to encourage you to keep looking. Going forward, it is this year where you really have to take an inventory. You have to take into account. I feel like there's like a lot of healing, like of the past here. There has to be a lot of inner work done. And so this inner work is connected to how you're going to propel your career forward. But the inner work is also connected to like peace of mind and what has happened in the past, like with family. So sometimes our entire psychology like mirrors where we can put how much energy we can put in life, and where we have again, the energy to create what we seek. So there's a connected relationship within this. Some of the past needs to be looked at, some of the past needs to be healed. When you do that, you can actually further your flexibility with your emotional self and your energy levels, and also further your capacity to go into roles where you have increased leadership and increased money. I say that because going forward, you got the winter card, and that is possible leadership. But in order to obtain leadership, you have to actually go through this like hard period, like a harsh winter, and then you can come out on the other side, right? In spring, renewed, refreshed, but with all this wisdom and experience behind you. And in order to really get the most of it and crystallize it, you have to go within deep, you have to hibernate, and you have to take into account during that inactive period, right? How and what is it going to take for me to get there? And you have to look at the entire picture, and that is your life. So I want to give you that. And yeah, a little bit of an interesting year. It might be rocky, but you come into next year. Next year is actually a really good year for your numbers. And it will be a very prosperous year next year. Just do the work. Okay. So that's what I have for Jackie. And then Joe. Joe, thank you for putting down your numbers. I need your full birth dates. I need your month, day, and year. Okay. Because some people calculate numbers differently, and I just have to make sure that I am calculating your numerology just rather than going off your numerology. And I don't even have your placements either, if that makes sense. So I need your full birth date. I'm just going to pull some cards for you, Joe, in the meantime. Thank you. And I'm going to take your, thank you, Joe. So you're in attitude 3. You are personal day 1, and you are a life path 9. That's right. Yep. 9. Oh, you're life path 3. Okay. You're a life path 3. That's what I'm trying to say. Always double check the math. All right. And then you're going into a cycle of 9, actually. My brain wants to jump around right now. Okay. So you're going into a cycle of 9. Okay. So maybe that's why my brain wants to jump around a little bit, because you have 2 3s in your chart. And when people have 2 3s in their chart, like they're kind of like fly by the seat of their pants. They have really good like uplifting energy. So in social situations, or, and honestly, any situation, you bring kind of like levity to the situation. And there's like this double-edged sword, okay, with a 3 at times, so embrace this, like really embrace this and bring confidence to it and perspective to it, because the 3, it comes with such good energy. And it can be fun, it can be lighthearted, or it can just be like kind, right? And some people go like, oh, like you're in such a good mood, or you kind of like have a great sense of humor, so you must not take life very seriously. And when in fact you could take it incredibly seriously. So really, I come on in and make your intentions in your voice like speak freely, because it's just such a natural part of who you are to speak freely. So speak freely about your views, speak freely about your beliefs. And you can do it in a way where it's thoughtful. Sure, you can do it in a way where it's considerate. Absolutely. But to be more forthcoming where really you are at. And I really think people will see the well-roundedness of you because you actually are incredibly more well-rounded than one would, off first impression. You actually have quite a fascinating life. Um, and with all these threes, you would, because it's like a number of entertainment and it's like you bounce around life. And since you bounce around life, you're going to have absorbed so much of other people and their experiences and found yourself in places that you honestly never thought you would be in. You're just like, I'm here and we're doing what now? Right. And that's kind of how life has cultivated itself for you at times. So actually, I encourage you, if you are not sharing more of your stories to, like, whether it's a podcast or whether, you're writing or whether you're in some type of position where you can share with people, like speaking or doing something in the community locally, like, I would highly encourage you to share your voice. I keep talking about that. Of course, I mean, on a personal level, of course, I mean, on a professional level where people can just see who you are as a person. But I think you have so many unique stories in you, and you can create so much life, even if it's a story about another person. Like, you have the knack for making things interesting. So, it's not something you have to do, but I'm just letting you know you'd be good at it. Okay. So I encourage you, if you ever thought about it, dive right into something where you can use your voice and really stand up on that soapbox and share more. Okay. If you're not doing it within your job, please get into more roles where you are able to be a translator for people, an advocate for people. Where you're standing up and translating other people's opinions. Okay. I do lives every Sunday. I'm a business. Good. Thank you. I'm glad you're in the right place, Joe. You're cultivating that for yourself. Absolutely. You can bring, that's the message. Like, you can bring more of yourself into other platforms, not just your own business. Okay. I feel like you are taking the initiative in your own business, but it's almost like some people aren't aware that you have that side to you. Some people are not aware of the many sides of you, like we talked about. So be more forthcoming with others of who you are, what you're creating, what your talents are. Increase your reach and don't just compartmentalize yourself around certain people. Okay, so that's my encouragement to you. You are in a cycle 9. This is actually a really important time for you because in a cycle 9, it's all about letting go of the past. And when we let go of the past, what happens is we make new energy. So this year, it's almost like there's this resurgence of, I have to get this done. I've been wanting to do this. Now is my time. But at the same time, you will be met with some obstacles from the past, not as harshly, okay? But you will be shown, like, okay, yeah, I have to get past this. In order for it to A to B, I have to get past this. And the amount of clarity that you can attain this year, it's quite different than the other years. Sometimes you can work so hard, but you're kind of just in a blur. This year, it's like the clouds are parting, things are becoming easier to see, things are becoming easier to do, and just keep leaning into that energy because it will continue to be that way. And come next year, it's like there's going to be almost an effortlessness behind what you do. Okay. So I really want to encourage you, this year and next year are really good, really good. And that really connects with your business as well. Okay, personal day 1, I want to highlight on that for a second, then I'm going to pull some cards for you. Personal day, how other people see you. Again, really good for business. I feel like as a 1, people are able to see you easily. People are able to connect to you easily. It's just a matter of bringing them all the way in. Okay. It's a matter of once you have them, you don't be afraid to keep them. Don't be afraid to ask them for help. Don't be afraid to even pitch them something. Take them all the way in with you. Okay. Because I think you actually can pull people in quite easier than the average person. Okay. So just take your vision as seriously as you would want another person to succeed, okay? As you would want another person when they have an opportunity to transform it into a sale. So that's coming into light. Um, really have confidence in what you're doing and take it all the way in and know that everything that you're saying is for the greater good of yourself and the other person. Take them all the way in. With your personal day one, people will very easily see you as a leader and be pulled into your energy. Use that to your advantage. Okay, so we are gonna pull some cards. Okay, so what I'm seeing with the cards that I'm pulling, it's really about creating more physical equilibrium in your life. We talked about equilibrium and balance a lot. And you have a lot of cards that are going into emotions and going into how you maintain your physical health. So, what I'm seeing is there's been in the past some physical health issues that have really kind of complicated your energy levels and haven't made you feel quite like yourself. And so you're in the process right now, smack dab, of healing that, maintaining that, moving forward. And so just because you've healed a problem doesn't mean all systems go. So I encourage you to just really be in touch with yourself because having equilibrium, not only our physical health, but also it's our spiritual health. So take into account like how you feel about things, your yeses, your nos, your intuition behind your decisions. Even if something looks amazing, always account for your intuition and your gut first. So the reason why I say that is because going forward, I don't know if it's been presented to you now, but going forward within the next 3 months, you're going to have an opportunity. Okay. And that opportunity isn't going to be so harmonious with you. Not the right type of people, not the right time. Just don't rush into it. It has to feel right. There's a saying, rejection is protection. Okay. And there's always a reason for everything. I think going forward, you're going to have way more opportunities and things are going to make a lot more sense. Keep going. You're on the right path. It's just the one coming up kind of in 3 months. And I feel like you already kind of like know this person or this is in the works a little bit, but it's going to really shine kind of in the next couple of months where it's like, make a decision time. Okay. Am I all in? I just don't feel like it's the right opportunity for you. Okay. From what I'm feeling and what I'm pulling, we don't have to rush into things just because we're ready. When we're ready, we put out our signals to the universe and we say, come find me. And then we feel into, okay, I put out my signal. I'm ready for something to come find me. Now, is this what I put my signal out for? Because you'll have a lot come finding you sometimes when you're ready. And that doesn't mean every opportunity is the right opportunity. So I'm going to love and leave you with that. And with that said, everybody, wow. When I do the reading shows, it's a little bit of a shorter show. That's just the format. That's just the way we go. And we are at closing. So how fun was that? How wonderful is that? Thank you, everyone, for coming in, and for the people that I got to read for, Sharon, Jackie, and Joe, thank you so much, and everyone else listening and putting down your comments and being a part of the reading show today for the first time. We'll do many more going forward. Actually, in June, we're going to have an additional day that's going to be devoted to readings in other modalities. So every Friday in June, it's going to be an interactive show. People can throw down their numbers, get psychic readings, and card pulls too as well. And it's just going to shape and grow to whatever it beautifully becomes. But all in the name of reading and giving back. So thank you so much. Yes, I will see you then next time on Wednesday for the Psychic Hour. We'll be having Nicole Strickland on the show. It's going to be a wonderful show. Please come by then, and I will see you very soon. Love and light to you, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week. Go with love, luck, light, and live, everyone. Thank you so much.